Okay.
Sir, quick introduction lang po ng sarili nyo at saka ng position po dito sa DNR at saka a little bit na lang din po ng rules and responsibilities.
Yes. Ano pangalan mo?
Chila po. Chila.
Chila. Okay. Chila. Hi, Chila. Good morning. Let me know kung okay na.
Oh, yes. Sige
Okay
na.
na ba?
Oh,
Alright,
okay.
good morning, Chila. And wait. Sino bang magiging audience natin dito?
Ito lang po. Tingin
No, I mean, where will this be presented?
To everyone.
to the public lang
To
siya.
the public po.
Good day to everyone, Miss Sheila, and to all the people of Caraga. Maayong buntag, kaninyo tanan. Yeah. Ako po I'm your regional executive director ng DNR. I'm a forester by profession. I'm from Luzon, but I was assigned in this region from 2012 to 2017. So more or less, I'm already familiar with the place, and I have lots of friends here in this region. Yeah. Basically, our office is responsible for the management, development, and protection of our environment and natural resources. We are the agency mandated by government to ensure that all Filipinos will have a healthful and balanced ecology. Yan po ang DNR.
Okay, thank you po. RD, paki-explain na po. Please explain to us a little bit of the process on how the BIRC coordinated with LGUs and government agencies so that the BIRC can capture and study amphibians in the field. So what are the process po before they can go to an area and then study the amphibians or the
Alright. Just like any other entity or organizations who would like to conduct an activity in forest lands, for that matter, no? Just like the Biodiversity Informatics Research Center. Well, we all know that, as I've said, DNR is the primary government agency mandated by law to implement, in this case, the provisions of 9147 or the Wildlife Protection or Conservation and Protection Act of 2001. And that law provides that any organization or entity, as I've said, can apply for a permit for them to be able to conduct, in the case of BIRC, research activity, and that would require securing clearances from local government units where the research will be conducted, especially if they are in forest lands, as I've said, and then if it's within a protected area, just like the Agusan Marsh where you conducted your research, then they have to get PAMBI endorsement. And then after everything, all clearances are secured from appropriate offices of government, including NCIP, that's when we issue the gratuitous permit. So we enter into a partnership agreement with them, or MOA, so they can now proceed with their activities in the PA. So that's what basically that's what BIRC did. After securing all the clearances, we entered into a partnership agreement, MOA. That is why ngayon under this project, research project, BIRC is allowed to get live samples of wildlife inside the areas where they are now doing the research. So basically, yun ang process na ginawa natin. And as I've said, any group or entity can go through the same process if they wanted to do their research. But basically, I would like to emphasize na it's only for research purposes, especially in PA, kasi very limited extractive activities only in the multiple use zone. Pero in the strict protection zone, no economic activities, extractive economic activities can be allowed.
So, sir, according to Dr. Tess, the research head of BIRC, she said that BIRC is actually one of the first, or the first research center focused on biodiversity here in Caraga region. So, what do you think, sir? Why do you think, sir, it is a good initiative to have this research center or to have this kind of study of amphibians, specifically here in Caraga?
Right, the Caraga region is within the Eastern Mindanao Biodiversity Corridor. And this is tagged as the epicenter of amphibian diversity in the Philippines. So within this KBAs, or within this corridor, are 6 KBAs in Caraga region, and this includes the 2 areas where they conducted their research, itong mga Kilong-Kilong Mountain Range, itong watershed, and then this Agusan Marsh Wildlife Sanctuary. Now, yung research ng BIRC, which is on amphibians, this is very important because everybody knows that amphibian is a very good environmental indicator. The role that they play in the prey-predator interaction, especially in the food chain. Itong mga amphibians, they eat itong mga insects, itong mga grasshopper, itong crickets. So in effect, they control the population of insects. You can just imagine kung hindi mo makukontrol ang population yan. Imagine the impact that they would have on the crops of the farmers sa nearby areas. And then, for example, the tadpoles of the frogs, they feed on algae, which basically cleans the water. So in effect, importante itong mga amphibians ito kasi they help maintain a balance in our ecosystem. Ngayon, itong conduct ng research on amphibians, very limited ang research na ginagawa dito sa ating region, sa Mindanao. Most of the research that I know of are basically situated in Luzon, and very few in Caraga, especially those focusing on amphibians. That is why this research by BIRC, welcome namin ito kasi this will help fill in that gap. They will provide us important information on endemism, spatial distribution, range of this wildlife, para in effect we will be able to develop itong mga effective strategies on how we will protect this species, this wildlife, so that yung environmental or ecological integrity will be maintained, and that this will have an impact, either directly or indirectly, on the lives of the Caraganons and the economy in general. So we welcome this kind of research activity by BIRC.
Yeah. So actually yun na po yung mga questions ko, no? Pero before we end this interview po, is there anything else na you would like to add or you would like to say related to this sa research ng BIRC?
Yes, I've said we welcome this activity by BIRC, and there are other research activities that they wanted to carry out in our region. We're very willing to help them. Kasi sabi ko nga, at the end of the day, it's going to be us who will benefit in terms of the need for data, aside from, of course, adding to the compendium of lessons that we could teach our people. Sa part ng DNR, important inputs ito sa policy making and development ng programs or strategies on how we could effectively protect these God-given resources. So we welcome this activity by BIRC.
Thank you so much, RED, for your time. That's all we have. Thank you, Kaayo.
Salamat niya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.